Despicable Me 2 is not just another Illumination sequel, it's one of their best films they've ever made. This was the one film in the Despicable Me franchise that truly felt that it lived up to the original. The heart was still there, the humour was peak, everything was amazing. Honestly, the reason this film worked so well was the humans. Like, Dr. Nefario was really good in here. I like what they did with him where he went to work for El Macho because he wanted to remain in a villainous business. Then that brings me on to El Macho himself. He's the most villainous character in this whole franchise, and honestly I think he's probably the funniest one, and that's saying a lot because Vector was really funny in the first film, but I think El Macho was even better. There wasn't one point in the film where I felt that it was rushed. Like when I was watching Despicable Me 4, everything went by so fast paced. In here though, there was plenty of time to give each scene plenty of room to breathe. There was a very simple plot to follow where kids are going to understand it, and I really enjoyed it. Even though I'm 20 years old, I find this film so enjoyable. I think a lot of that is because there was a lot of stuff I probably didn't notice as a kid, more adult jokes, but honestly, it's just a really fun film. It was a great film to explore Gru and his growth as a character. I'm not saying he was a despicable character in this one. This was the point where it's like, are we still calling these films Despicable Me, really? I get it, Gru isn't really despicable as such in this film. He has a big heart, he cares for his adopted kids, and he's sort of a nice guy now. Then that does bring us on to Lucy herself. She's an extremely fun and wacky character. She matches the vibes of Gru very nicely, and honestly, she's just a great addition to the Despicable Me universe. I think going forward in this franchise, they did lean too much into the comedy aspect. With things like Despicable Me 3, the Minions films, and number 4, it was all slapstick jokes heavy focused. I never felt really much of an emotional connection to the films. I do enjoy all of them because they are funny. I know that's the point of these films, but Despicable Me 2 really balanced the emotional and humorous moments really well. I do hope going forward in the franchise they are able to bring more heart back into the films, but I don't know if we can go back now we're this far in the franchise. Also, I know it might just be my nostalgia talking, but isn't the animation in here really nice? I know the animation probably should be an improvement in number 4 because it came out after this, but I feel like Despicable Me 2 had the strongest animation out of any of these. It just feels a bit artificial in a way, the newer animation style for Despicable Me 4, but number 2, it was beautifully animated. I loved it. I don't even know where the public fall on this film because I've seen a lot of people say that they don't like it, and then other people say that it is one of their favourites in the franchise, so I'm not 100% sure where the general public fall on this. But me personally, I think it might generally be my favourite Illumination film. It's a toss-up between this and the first Despicable Me, but at least in terms of animation, this one is significantly stronger. Now, what are your thoughts on Despicable Me 2? Do you think it's one of the strongest films in this franchise, or are you not a fan of it? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below.